Hello everyone, I'm Suman Chinta. I'm heading Global Pre-Sales Department at Calibre. I have 14 years of experience in implementing lab informatic management systems in various domains like pharmaceuticals, petrochemicals, and several other life science departments. In all these years, I had the opportunity to digitally transform laboratories across United States, Europe, and Asia Pacific region. With all my experience, today I would like to take you through how to be future ready with integrated quality management approach. We all know that we are in an adverse situation right now. The current pandemic had impacted every form of life. Like businesses across the globe had faced the heat of it. Non-essential sectors like tourism and service-based industries had come to a complete halt, whereas the essential sectors like pharmaceutical, healthcare, and life science industries, they had to deliver more with limited resources that they have right now. For example, if you take there is an artificial demand that got generated due to the panic situation. The panic situation had called for some panic sales, which had raised huge demand on essential commodities like medicines and a huge demand on essential services like healthcare. So this had impacted the entire segment because of the current social distancing policies. Industries could not accommodate more than 30 to 40% of the resources, but still have to cater and meet the requirements and the artificial demand that got generated in this situation. I agree with Gartner on this, that Gartner had to say that the companies who actually adopt right technology and right strategy would come out of this pandemic kind of situations with very less impact. To be ahead of the competition and to be prepared for future pandemics, I think we should adopt proper technology and redefine a proper strategy to walk into a better tomorrow. Looking at various dimensions of the industry and the world we live in, I believe in that we all live in the world of VUCA. VUCA is the world of high volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. So in this current situation, I remember a famous quotation from Game of Thrones. It's my favorite serial. In that serial, the famous quotation says that if you leave one wolf alive, the sheep are never safe again. I think this is an apt quote for the current scenario. If you see the effect the pandemic had faced is just because of one single root cause called coronavirus. So the blessing in disguise is like this corona effect had given a pause to the entire world and not only just to us, to the entire think tank who had the opportunity to stop, to rethink, to work on the strategies to rebuild and to restart everything. So this pandemic, I can say this is a blessing in disguise, because some years before, while I was discussing with my research friend, he said the current RNA viruses that are coming up, they are they may create a kind of pandemic situations in future that may eradicate a lot of human race. That is what he said. At that time, I didn't take him seriously, but after this corona effect, I started believing in what he said, and I can definitely say that we are lucky to have this impact only with one root cause or one virus. What if there are 10 viruses that come at a time? Are we ready to face a situation like that? I think only certain tools which will allow us to speed up the things in right from research to development, product development, and product delivery. All this has to speed up really quick, and we should have proper tools in place to face the future pandemics. So let me give my thought process on now what will change in the industry landscape in the coming few months to few years. This is my opinion on my expectations on how industry would change. If the change has to begin, it has to begin with research and development, because if you consider the pharma, the product development process starts with research and development. If the product development happens quick, the product delivery also can happen quick, which is very much essential in pandemics like this. And if you see, right from compound synthesis to method development to method technology transfer, everything should happen really quick. We should see that there should not be any redundant data or redundant workflows that the research laboratories are doing, which is a common practice. And there should not be any person dependency or any knowledge drain that happens due to a person leaving a company or opting out from a research. So proper technology should be used. The technology right now has evolved, like the compound structures, everything can be drawn there and then. Like for example, ChemDraw, and like for process automations and all, you have options like electronic lab notebook, which can handle the ad hoc workflows or the ad hoc experiments the scientist starts designing on the go. So there are several solutions that support to speed up the experiments that would eradicate redundant processes and knowledge drain. All this will be eradicated, and at the same time, to speed up, there are certain tools like right now we all know that machine learning process is in boom now. So machine learning process, artificial intelligence will really help you in taking decisions quickly, coming up to conclusions really quickly, and speed up the experiments so that the product development and release process can happen really quick. As I'm a biotech student, I had the opportunity of working in the bioinformatics area. So the bioinformatics is a classic example of how the R&D should transform. For example, if we should invest a lot on chemicals, resources, time, everything, if you start experimenting in wet lab. Whereas if you have an alternate solution like bioinformatics, where in the dry lab, you understand the properties of the chemical or the candidate that you are using, thoroughly identify and understand the functional groups and the chemical properties of that particular chemical in a dry lab. By estimating the functional groups, you know how this functional group will interact with the target. If you can have that happen in the dry lab, which happens really quick, this scenario you can place with multiple targets and multiple candidates, and you can have the comparison. For example, in R&D, if the methods are developed, the methods can be compared, and you can, through that comparison, if you know which could be the right candidate or right method for taking it forward, which will give you proper system suitability, which will give you the compound stability, which is giving you more compound compatibility, and which is giving precision in values, and which is establishing the linearity. So all this, if the technology helps you in getting all these things, the R&D happens really quick. If the R&D happens really quick, you can plan for the product release and delivery process real quick. So the basic R&D should be well equipped and with proper technology and strategy, so that you can, in this current pandemic situation and all, if you need solutions, they can come real quick. And the other area which I would like to talk to you is clinical practices. If you take the clinical practices, there are several stages. Preclinical trials that will take a lot of animal toxicology studies, and then it has to come to 4 phases of clinical trials. And whatever compound that is synthesized before in the R&D lab, now it has to go for scalability. Once the scalability happens, there are a lot of uncertainties that usually the researchers face. If the uncertainties are estimated before and they could be mitigated, lot of time, resources, everything would save. So the production and then the quality control parameters and the quality assurance, establishing the regulations, all of that, if all of that happens really quick, your post market release can be estimated, predicted through pharmacovigilance tools that help you, like MIS tools, and reserve sample to handle the post market release, how the drug is behaving and all, through reserve sample stability. All these tools will really come in handy to you to reduce the time on the clinical trials that should happen. And for example, if you take a particular compound, and if you are like with limited candidates, or with limited animals, or with limited human trials that you would like to take, if the systems could predict, okay, now this is the scenario you have given, how this can behave in scenario 2, scenario 3, scenario 4, in different forms, how it would behave, if the predictions would come through machine learning and artificial intelligence, then the clinical trail period also would come down, and the solutions can be catered to the market real quick. This is a very essential thing that the entire manufacturers, regulators, and the researchers should come into an agreement and effectively adapt technology and embrace proper strategy and technology in such a way that the entire human race gets benefited. And if you look at quality control, for example, in the current pandemic situation, I had interacted with several quality control customers. Like who had expressed their views in such a way that the early adapters, like who had already adapted technology in the form of LIMS in their laboratories, they had benefited a lot. How? For example, if you take a quality control workflow, there are steps like registration, and then sampling, then distribution within the teams, and then performance of analysis, where you use a lot of resources, a lot of instruments, equipments. There is a lot of procedures that you need to follow. And once the analysis is done, there should be review that should happen, and there should be approvals that should happen, and several reports should be generated. If you consider the entire process, right now, if you see with full occupancy, everything is with full occupancy in the laboratories, everything is done like on the premises. Whereas this current pandemic social distancing scenarios didn't allow the complete workforce to be on site. If you use a proper LIMS system, I am saying the real advantage of using technology. If you use proper LIMS system, if you host it on cloud, or if you host it on hosted server, the registration process, the distribution process, the review, approval, generation of reports, generation of analytics, everything can happen online, like sitting anywhere in the world, or you can work from anywhere and perform these activities. Whereas there are 2 steps like sampling, which needs physical presence, and the analysis part. During the analysis part, like usage of chemicals, usage of standards, and actually performing the analysis part only needs human intervention. So they could plan their work in such a way that with not even 30 to 40%, with 10% of their resources, they could they could perform their operations like as they were doing in the regular situation. So that is how the technology could be adapted and used effectively. So this is an example. And if you see that, the other thing is regulatory expectations. If you see, the regulators are also changing. Right now, we are in Industry 4.0 era. Industry 4.0 era is like it is with Pharma 4.0 era right now. For example, if I have to say, the current pharma industry is following Pharma 4.0 era, where the industry is expecting to have a proper integrated quality management approach. Like in a Pharma 3.0 era, there are systems which got implemented, but the data capturing everything happens in islands. But in Pharma 4.0 era, the regulators are expecting to have integrated information transfer, where with the data that got generated by individual systems can be integrated together to give a meaningful information which can help you in easy decision making. So data that got generated should form a meaningful information, which in turn will help you to take right and easy decisions. So that is regarding Pharma 4.0. And when it comes to the quality metrics, if I have to say, I am following Ms. Janet Woodcock, the director of FDA, US FDA, since 2015, since she had introduced the concept of the quality metrics. Quality metrics is a very interesting concept, like where the FDA is trying to identify the way the manufacturer is following the processes, everything through proper metrics. If you see, they have started a beta trial version which they got introduced into the market, and several industry had participated in that beta program. But somehow the industry didn't adapt and embrace this particular concept as it should, or as I had expected it to be. The reason could be due to a lot of efforts that have to be given, and the technology is not up to that standard. If you see, the industry is already facing a lot of difficulties to give complete information regarding the stability studies and generating the annual product quality reviews. So it is taking a lot of time and efforts to give these two metrics, but the FDA is coming up with metrics like 14 to 16 metrics. So which turn to be really challenging for the manufacturers to give all these metrics. But like the FDA had mandated that ANDAs should be submitted only through proper technology solutions. In the same way, I believe that this could be a reality, that in future FDA would definitely come up with, they may come up with certain guidelines and rules which may say that, okay, we will take the metrics only in this particular methodology. You need to follow certain softwares to update the metrics time to time to the FDA, so that they can take proper decision on how the manufacturer or how the industry is performing, and whether at what frequency they should plan to audit this particular company. All this, the frequency of audits, when the audit should happen, at what area the audit should happen, they may decide after looking at proper metrics. So until now, this may be an option to the industries to adopt, but very quick, after this pandemic, I believe that FDA and other regulators would uh, regulate in such a way that these things may become as requirements, no more a guideline, it may become a rule, like what we are seeing in ANDA submissions with FDA and all. And due to this social distancing and the travel restrictions, I believe that online audits also would come into effect very soon. So we all should think on uh, adapting technology in such a way that the online audit should be facilitated from our part, like the manufacturers should be readily taking the baby steps towards the concept of online audits, because this may become a reality very soon. And after this pandemic, I can say that the concept of self-sustainability and self-reliability had really picked up a lot. For example, if you take after the current pandemic situation, the entire world had realized that uh, for APIs, the world is dependent on China. If $156 billion business is happening, in that $76 billion of business happens with China. This clearly indicates that there is huge dependency of APIs and key starting materials on China. So, ironically, the pandemic started with China, and the entire pharma industry had really got impacted in this. I can say that the world had looked towards India for support, but somehow India is also dependent on uh, 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 key starting materials and APIs on China. So though it is supplying like majority of the APIs within India, but there is a lot of dependency on China as well. So every every country is trying to come out of this situation, and they would like to become sustainable and self-reliant. I think if you see the recent statement from the former president of United States, uh, the statement says that United States is going to be self-reliant and self-sustainable when it comes to pharma needs. It may not be an immediate reality, but with proper measures, proper steps that would take towards the collaborative approach, like US, Europe, India, and the booming markets like Brazil and, for example, small country but really picking up well, countries like Bangladesh, they all need to collaborate well in such a way that the research development, the delivery process, everything can happen in a collaborative approach. So the redundancy in R&D, everything should be minimized, and the knowledge sharing, everything will help countries to come with quicker solutions and will be able to face future pandemics. And there should be reduced gap between industry 4.0 and 3.0. I strongly believe in this. And this is a very interesting topic to me. When you see Pharma 3.0, I can say that it happened as a blessing to industries, and it also really helped pharma to come out of this current pandemic really well. Basically, what happened in Pharma 3.0 era is the entire industry had identified the key focus areas, and they automated those things. That really helped in current situation. When it comes to Pharma 4.0, now the challenge is integrating all this together to have the information flow, to have the data flow, which can be processed well with the effective resources like machine learning. That will help you to take proper decision making. So when it comes to Pharma 4.0, you have implemented systems like ERPs, LIMS, QM, quality assurance management systems, training management systems. There are several softwares that got implemented, but they have independent data storages. So though there is a lot of data that is generated, that cannot be effectively utilized to take proper decision making. But after the concepts of integrated quality management approach, which really boomed in the industry 4.0, and the evolution of machine learning process and artificial intelligence, this really helps the pharma to like integrate all the systems together and take proper decisions. As I said, like the industry 4.0 is always ahead of pharma 4.0. Ideally, it should not be the case. Industry 4.0 deals with several segments of the industry, but pharma 4.0 essentially concentrates on human safety and human healthcare. So I believe that pharma 4.0 should be much more advanced than industry 4.0, or it should travel together with industry 4.0, so that the technologies can be adapted real quick, and we can reap the fruits of the technology advancement real quick. So if you take a scenario in a pharmaceutical industry, the enterprise resource that takes care of warehouse and rest of the material management, it should interact with quality control department. It should interact with quality assurance department, with HR. Like that, there are several interdependencies where the collective productivity can happen through only proper information transfer and proper processing of the data. So the current 4.0, Pharma 4.0, helped us to form the quality pyramid. The quality pyramid is all the departments should implement proper tools in place. These tools should be open in nature, not closed in nature. So these open tools should, through proper data mats, here the data science comes into the data science will come real handy in preparing proper data mats that capture the information and prepare a data warehouse. That data warehouse, through proper machine learning algorithms, should facilitate effective decision making, which comes through AI. The only difference from Industry 4.0 and Pharma 4.0 is Industry enables the system to take the decisions automatically, whereas the Pharma 4.0 will have a regulated decision making process. So the regulated decision making process will help you in bringing a human interface where the options like option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4 can be suggested by the system, but the final decision can happen through that human interface. So finally, with all these things, proper process capability should be established, and predictive analytics should be coming out, so that the decisions can be made quickly and effectively, which can eradicate out of specifications, failures, which can save a lot of time and help us in really releasing the products from the R&D to the production level really quick, and enable the product release process real quick. So using right tools and strategy is going to play a huge role to ensure a better tomorrow. So for this, we should follow the 3R mantra of resilience. Give me 1 second. Yeah, 3R mantra of resilience, which says like you need to restart, rebuild, and redefine properly. You need to restart by evaluating the infrastructure, by evaluating the future needs, and evaluating the risks that are associated with people, with technology, whether the technology is scalable or whether it is creating interdependency between like dependency on one particular vendor. All these things, all the risks have to be mitigated by proper evaluation. And you should evaluate the complete regulatory changes that are happening. You need to be in touch with the regulatory changes that are happening as on today and what may happen in future. So you should properly evaluate all the barriers and roadblocks, and you should rebuild considering where you need to digitalize, and if the digitalization can be done by you, or you need to outsource it. If the outsourcing is done, are you dependent completely on them? So are they making you dependent on that particular company or something? So you should properly evaluate that, and you should properly execute the digital transformation with right people, right technology, and right strategy in place. And you should also redefine what is the success parameters. What are the quality parameters that you are having right now? What is your future roadmap? So all these things have to be redefined properly. And you should have proper holistic approach in selecting the right partner for you. You should see that the product that you are getting, the technology that you are adopting is designed ground up to cater to the GXP requirements that the industry is having. All GLPs, GMPs, all that have to be catered, and they should meet the regulations like US FDA 21 CFR Part 11 compliance, EU GMP Annexure 11, Alcoa Plus, all those things. And the implementation process should happen through proper established methodology like GAMFI. GAMFI is having right categories like category 3, 4, 5. Based on the software you select, they suggest you right approach of implementation. So you should have this holistic approach followed when you are selecting the right partner. And integrated quality management approach, as I have already mentioned, you need to see whether the solution providers are closed in nature or open in nature. You should only select softwares that enable you to build the concept of integrated quality management approach for your laboratory. Finally, I would like to say we all live in the era of Pharma 4.0. So the immediate essential thing is we need to digitally transform our industry in such a way that the entire processes can be digitally automated and then interlinked following the concepts of Pharma 4.0. And this integration and this digital transformation should facilitate the decision-making process, like the concepts defined in Internet of Things, which in pharma terms, I would say that Internet of Pharma Things. So if you would like to take my suggestion, you can explore the product suite that had been developed by Caliber following all the holistic approach I had mentioned, and without any obligation to buy the software and all, you can have a look on how the systems can be implemented in this Pharma 4.0 era through integrated quality management approach through simple demonstrations. You can contact Caliber team and schedule for that. Thank you, PLA, for giving me this opportunity. It is wonderful interaction.